occurs inside the prostate. In those whom the disease has spread to the bones, pain medications and bisphosphonates and targeted therapy, among others.
In its own challenges there. That's when you now know maybe somebody just does a screening and that's when you find out.
Regular screening is therefore advised as the best way to detect it in good time.
Thank you so much for being a part of Mothercare today. We do appreciate the fact that you shared this time with us. We'll be back same station, same time next week, hoping that you keep the faith with us. And of course, we'll be treating another interesting issue and hopefully answering all your questions and of course, getting to all your suggestions. My name is Marian. To every mom out there, being a mom, best job in the world. Thanks for watching.
Darling Superscreen TV is back, bigger and better. Superscreen TV UHF 45 brings you exciting programs from sports. www.superscreen.tv or our YouTube channel at Superscreen Live TV. Connect with us on clockwork.org. You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Superscreen TV NG. Superscreen Television is now on Star Times Channel 173. Now our tentacles are extended to give you the very best of sports, news, entertainment shows of Superscreen Television. Now you're talking.
Some unscrupulous and mischievous people to implicate my company or not?
I know that financial crisis. Oh, she hasn't told you. I see. You're so ashamed of it. Of course I know. I know everything that is going on in this campus. Because with money,
A very lovely morning to you. Many thanks for joining us on Super Dawn Weekend here on Superscreen Television. We are always glad that you are able to take time out to join us this morning. We know that Saturdays are usually very busy for some people, especially with the postponed elections. A lot of people had to shift their weddings to this Saturday, so it's quite a busy day for a lot of people. For some other people, it's a day to rest after the hustle and bustle of the week from Monday to Friday. We know how traffic is in Lagos, even just generally in Nigeria. So we're always grateful when you take time out to join us on Saturday morning. Let us also officially say Happy New Month to you. It is the second day of March as we begin to wind down the first quarter of 2019. I am Precious Amayo. Many thanks for joining us once again. We'll take a break now, and when we return, we'll look at the headlines on the papers, and we know that basically it's going to be centered around the just concluded elections. Many issues coming up around that elections, people wanting to contest results, people rejecting results, and the peace panel meeting Atiku, a lot of issues coming up around the elections. And we know that next Saturday we also have the gubernatorial elections coming up around the country. But let's take a look on the papers. Do stay with us.
Superscreen Television is now on Star Times, channel 173. Now our tentacles are extended to give you the very best of sports, news, entertainment shows, current affairs, blockbuster movies, and lots more. Tune in to Star Times, channel 173, and enjoy the very best of Superscreen Television. Now you're talking.
All right, welcome back. Many thanks for staying with us on the program. We'll move on now straight to the headlines on the papers. And today we'll be reviewing three papers. We have the Vanguard newspaper, we have the Punch, and as well as the Nation newspaper. We're just going to take a few headlines on these papers this morning. And on the Vanguard newspaper, the major headline is centered around the just concluded election, and it says Buhari owes Nigerians competent leadership, and that's coming from Mogalu. It says Buhari owes Nigerians competent leadership. It's a statement credited to the presidential candidate of the Young Progressives Party, YPP, Kingsley Mogalu. And away from that, Buhari versus Atiku. Nobody will stop PDP from going to court. And that's a statement credited to the national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Uche Secondus. Buhari versus Atiku. Nobody will stop PDP from going to court, says Secondus. We know that there's been a lot of call for Atiku to not go to court. We've had Alisa Agbakoba speak to him. We've seen peace panel headed by Abdul Salami and Bishop Kuka also speak to him. We've seen Dele Momodu also speak to him, but the PDP is saying nothing will stop Atiku from going to court. Still on the headlines, Agbaje tackles Sanwo-Olu over rice gift to civil servant. Agbaje tackles Sanwo-Olu over rice gift to civil servant. Women storm Abuja, beg Atiku to concede defeat. Women storm Abuja, beg Atiku to concede defeat. Still on the headlines, U.S. congratulates Buhari over election victory. U.S. congratulates Buhari over election victory. Northern Elders congratulates Buhari, says spread of votes shows public confidence. Northern Elders congratulates Buhari, says spread of votes shows public confidence. And finally, on the Vanguard newspaper, is a headline that says, and it's centered around sports. It says, Akinfenwa better than Ronaldo, Messi. That's an opinion. It says, Akinfenwa better than Ronaldo, Messi. Well, I'm sure a lot of people will disagree, especially when you're a huge fan of Ronaldo or Messi. The general conversation around the world is who is better between Ronaldo and Messi, and that has created a lot of controversy. So to throw someone else in the mix might not sit well with a lot of football fans. But away from the Vanguard newspaper, it's the Punch newspaper, and the headline here says, alleged election rigging. Atiku, PDP leaders show video proofs to Abdulsalami Kuka. Alleged election rigging. Atiku, PDP leaders show video proofs to Abdulsalami Kuka. I'm very grateful even in defeat, and that's coming from one of the popular artists here, Banky W. He ran for the House of Reps, but he was defeated, and he's saying, I'm very grateful even in defeat. And that's a good sportsmanship spirit, you know, to say he's grateful even in defeat. The ability to just run alone is something that a lot of people commended him for. But away from that story, APC suspends Amosu Okorocha, Minister, Voice of Nigeria DG. APC suspends Amosu Okorocha, Minister, Voice of Nigeria DG. Teacher remanded in prison for defiling, impregnating 14-year-old people. Teacher remanded in prison for defiling, impregnating 14-year-old people. That's why a lot of people will say that parents shouldn't leave the upkeep or the upbringing of their child to just teachers alone. We need to be able to speak to children when they get home and ask them questions as to what's happening in school, not just about their bookwork, but about their relationship with teachers, supervisors of the school, even with co-fellows, co-students. But away from that, bank worker arrested for diverting 3.4 million naira from customers' accounts. Bank worker arrested for diverting 3.4 million naira from customers' accounts. And finally, on the Punch newspaper, again, lawyers' absence stalls Evans' trial. Again, lawyers' absence stalls Evans' trial. I'm very sure a lot of Nigerians are already forgetting the case of the kingpin Evans, who was arrested, I think, sometime last year or 2 years ago. But it's that trial has stalled so much that a lot of Nigerians are almost forgetting that that case even exists in the first place. And that's why people call on reforms in the judiciary, where cases like this, you can speed up cases like this. You know, there is a judgment and everybody can move on as to that particular case. But, you know, it's good to know that the case is still on. But moving away from the Punch newspaper to the Vanguard newspaper, the headline here says, Buhari, Abdulsalami and other peace committee members meet. Buhari, Abdulsalami and other peace committee members meet. Away from that, Skybank collapses, EFCC files charges against Tunde Ayeni. Skybank collapses, EFCC files charges against Tunde Ayeni. And still on the headlines, I am committed to Sanwo-Olu's victory, says Ambode. I am committed to Sanwo-Olu's victory, says Ambode. Still on politics, Akala agrees to work for party ahead of polls. Akala agrees to work for party ahead of polls. We saw it on the news yesterday that Alao Akala, the former governor of Oyo State, is back with the APC. He had some issues with the party. He used to be in the PDP, moved to the Accord Party, went to the APC, left the APC. Now he's back with the APC. So he's agreeing to work for the party ahead of the gubernatorial polls. I will take tough decisions in the next 4 years, and that's coming from Buhari. I will take tough decisions in the next 4 years is a statement credited to the President, Muhammadu Buhari. And finally, on the Nation newspaper, government poll. Accord will partner with APC to win, governorship poll, I think that's what it means. Governorship poll, Accord will partner with APC to win Rivers, says Nalado. Accord will partner with APC to win Rivers, says Nalado. And that's all for the Nation newspaper. Also, that's all for the headlines on the papers this morning. We take a break, and when we return, we're going to focus, of course, around the elections. The just concluded presidential and National Assembly elections didn't come without its own controversy. Some people say that election was mostly rigged. Others say it was free and fair. When we return, we're going to be looking at an overview of the presidential and National Assembly elections, and you know that we'd like to hear from you when we begin that conversation. We want to hear what you think about that election and what we can do to better the gubernatorial election. Do stay with us.